Kimchi is not just a tasty side dish, it's packed with vitamins and good bacteria that can boost your digestive health. Plus, making it allows you to customise the flavours to your liking. It's far more rewarding and a lot cheaper than buying it in store. First off, you're going to need some Napa cabbage, or Chinese cabbage as it's known here in the UK. Cut it into quarters, then cut it into 1 inch or so slices. Add to a bowl. Add loads of salt, way more salt than you think you need. What this salt is going to do is draw out moisture from the cabbage, which helps with the preservation process. Don't worry, we'll be washing the salt off later. Now mix the salt to completely coat the cabbage. I'm bruising the leaves here to help draw out more water, but you don't need to be as vigorous as I'm being here. Now set aside the cabbage for a couple of hours. Over time you should see lots of water releasing from the leaves. Whilst you're waiting, you can prepare your other ingredients. I'm using some carrots, which I'm going to julienne fairly finely. I'm using organic carrots here. You don't have to use organic, but I find out of any organic veg you buy in the supermarket, you really get a flavour pop with organic carrots. Next up, some spring onions, chop up into a couple of inches long pieces. Traditional kimchi would use a daikon or Korean radish, but I can't find them around here, so I'm using some plain old radishes which I'm going to chop up. We're also going to need an apple here, which we're going to be using as a base for our kimchi paste. Again, this isn't really a traditional ingredient, but it turns out just fine. Peel it and remove the core. To make our paste, we're going to blend 6 or 7 cloves of garlic, around 85 grams of ginger, our apple and 55 mils of soy sauce, and the secret ingredient, 5 mils of Worcester sauce. You purists out there may be wondering where the fish sauce is, but after a few marital arguments about stinking the house out whilst the kimchi is fermenting, I just use soy and a bit of Worcester sauce. If you want a vegan alternative, just drop the Worcester and only use the soy. To finish off the paste, I'm mixing in 30 grams of Korean chili flakes. Feel free to go hotter or milder here. Last time I made kimchi, I had double the amount and it blew my socks off. It tasted great, but whoa, was it spicy. After waiting that couple of hours, wash off your lettuce. Try and get as much salt as you can off. If you're left with a kimchi that is too salty, it's because you didn't wash enough of the salt off. You can see here that I bruised the leaves up a little too much earlier, so I'm losing some here. Maybe don't be as vigorous as I was. Now give all the ingredients a good old mix. Now we're going to dispel 2 myths here. The first one is that you need to use a fermentation jar or something with an airlock. That is totally false. You can use any type of jar. I use what I have to hand, and depending on the size of what I'm making, you can even use an old jam jar or something similar if you like. This 3.5 litre fermentation jar housed my last batch of kimchi. You can see I had a pretty big batch of it. To be honest though, this kind of jar is actually more of a pain than it is a help. This thing pops off all the time, so stick to whatever you've got to hand. The second myth is that you need to sterilise your jars before making your kimchi. This is totally false, and I have never actually sterilised my jars when making my kimchi, and I've never had any problems. So don't agonise with sterilisation tablets and pouring boiling water into your jar and that kind of thing, which can crack your jar by the way. So take it easy, just wash your jars and keep them relatively clean. When you pack your kimchi into the jar, you want to push it down with a wooden spoon or something. Get all those air bubbles out and create your perfect little fermentation system. Cover the jar but don't make it airtight. During fermentation, sugars and starches are turned into carbon dioxide. If the jar is airtight, you run the risk of it exploding. Over here you see I'm just using a paper towel to keep things closed but not airtight. Now leave the jar at room temperature for 4 days or so and then check that flavour. The longer you leave it, the more it will mature and develop a more fuller flavour. Over time you will see bubbles form in the kimchi. This is totally normal and just the carbon dioxide building. I was happy with this one after 6 days. It's got a nice little zing to it. When you're happy with your kimchi, seal it and pop it in the fridge, which is going to slow down that fermentation process. It will keep for around 6 months in the fridge, but mine never lasts that long because it always gets munched away much sooner. Now before you go and make your own kimchi, make sure you check out this fermented lemonade recipe. You're going to love it. Cheers.